Hi guys, it is finally a new DIY video. I haven't done these in a while because life and travel and Christmas and all that stuff, but Johannes is with grandparents, so I have a whole Sunday to myself. My husband is gaming and we are gonna sew together. First things first, yesterday I went shopping. I went for some fabric shopping, so I figured I would start with that. I'm gonna show you what I bought, and then we're gonna make at least one piece of swimwear, maybe two, let's see, and then we're gonna make a dress and a top if we have time. Not really sure what's the best move here. Do I just show you the fabric and then we hop into it? You normally like that when I show you like the fabrics that I got, so okay, let's do that. All right, first things first, I got a lining fabric. So I just got 3 meters of like jersey stretch cheap lining fabric, because lining is also what makes pieces look really put together. I got, okay, let's do the swimwear fabrics. So I got a like really dark blue, almost black piece of fabric. It's just like, I don't know, it's like stretch tights, like swimwear kind of thing. I actually even don't know what this is called, like what this type of fabric is called. But I got this one and I got 2 meters, and that's way too much, but I figured then maybe I can get some more pieces out of it. I'm gonna show you which type of bathing suit we're making in a minute. And then I also got the same type of fabric, but I got white. So this type of fabric I figured I would, or this piece of fabric I figured I would mostly use for lining and detail on the swimwear, which is gonna make sense in a minute. And then I also got this like really thick knitted fabric. It's kind of stretchy, but it's super nice. It's on one side, it's like a dotted pattern. I don't know if that's visible like in camera, but I hope so. And the other side is with stripes. So I think I'm gonna use the dotted side for the dress, but the inside also just looks really nice. And maybe if there's fabric enough, I can get some other piece out of it. I got 2 meters of this one. So I got this fabric right here. I hope it shows like on camera. So it looks just like off-white, maybe a little bit pinkish, but it has this super nice structure to it with also with stripes, but it's like woven into it, so it's not printed or anything. But yeah, all right, that was a little bit of a fabric haul. Let's start with the swimwear, and let's start with the pattern of the swimwear. Here we go. For the first part, or the first project, I keep saying that to you guys, this is obviously going to be 3 different videos, and so that you're able to focus on the projects on their own. But for me it's a whole day of sewing. So the first project is, I found this really cool swimsuit, and what's so cool about it is that it's one piece. It's like one swimwear piece. And when I say it out loud now, I'm realizing that doesn't make sense, but I'll show you. So you kind of put it together by like tying it around your body. It's like a flat piece, and then you tie it around your body. And it looks like this. So we're gonna have to figure out, like I have a few bathing suits, and what I wanna figure out is the top section I could probably just copy off of another bathing suit, but the bottom section we're just gonna have to like do some measurements, and then we also kind of need to figure out the closing on the top section. So let me just try and draw out the first version of a pattern, and then I'll come back. I've been trying to draw a pattern, and it looks crazy. It looks almost like a mermaid's tail for some reason. But so this is the top section. This is the front part of the swimsuit. So the neckline up here, bust and stomach here, and then it goes down like this. So this like is the crotch area. And then this is the back side of the swimsuit. So this is what you tie up around your waist. Like you put this on the front, and then you tie it up around, like around your waist. I've identified like 5 measurements. So from the neckline all the way on, like down and around onto the back, like how high do I want it to go on my back side. And then obviously the width here, I'm just gonna take that measurement off of a bathing suit that I have. And then also on the back side, like how far do I want it to tie onto my front? And then chest, so how wide do I want it to go? Also think I can get this one off of a swimsuit. And then lastly, also the butt section, like how much do I want it to cover my cheeks, basically. I'm gonna try and draw this out now, the actual pattern, and I'll show you my measurements as soon as I am done doing that. Okay, so I found a few of my bathing suits. I'm just gonna go with this one. It's like finding one that's just completely as plain as possible is what I'm gonna go off of. This is what it looks like tied, and I think most of you can kind of figure out what it is I'm trying to do if you just see the picture. So I got my measuring tape out, and I also measured on the bathing suit and myself, so I had both to go off of. 101 centimeters from how far up I want the bathing suit to go to how far up on my back I want it to go. And then measured the crotch section and the back section off of this one, which were 64 centimeters and 7 centimeters. I want to say though that so when you measure the third measurement, which is like how far you want it to go on the front side, remember that there's strings, and this is a super stretchy fabric. So I just measured how far do I want it to go here. I actually put down 64 so that it would go like all the way, almost all the way around. And that's because I want to cover my hips a little bit. Let's see, it's always easier to cut off rather than add. So I'm gonna go with 64, and then I might make that like smaller, if that makes sense, or wider, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna work with this fabric by like folding it in half and stuff, because it's very slippery. It's like super, you know, but we don't need a lot of pieces. So we're just gonna cut out the big piece. I'm gonna do 2 of that one. But yeah, let's discuss all those details when we get there. it is finally time to sew. I've also taken a little nap because I had a headache, so it's a few hours later. Anyways, I have my two main pieces here and figured out which side I want to be the right side, which ones I want to be the wrong side. I've kind of pinned them just to like not hold them together because I don't think that matters. It's easy to hold them once I sew, but I've marked them together so I know that the right sides are in and out, and I have pinned right sides together. So traditional right sides together, wrong sides out for sewing. And then I also cut 6 of these ribbons. So I think it's about 7.5 centimeters wide. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold them over and then give them about 1 centimeter of space. So I'm gonna sew them all the way down and turn them inside out so that we have our strings to tie. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start with the strings. I'm gonna sew them all, turn them inside out, and then we move over to the main pieces, and we're actually getting close to the finish line. This looks a little bit like a mess, but I'm gonna try to explain it to you. It's actually like there's 2, maximum 3 steps left to this process. So I did all of the strings, and I have pinned them to I've sandwiched them between the outer and inner fabric on the inside, so when I sew they will get secured in the spot that they're in, and hopefully they'll also help us turn this bathing suit inside out really neatly once we're there. I've tied up the 4 top ones and then I've tied up the 2 bottom ones just to make it easier to keep track of them. I'm really gonna have to make sure that I don't sew into them, you know, on the inside as we go. But I'm gonna overlock all of the outer side here all the way around. I will leave a space somewhere to turn the bathing suit inside out, but to be completely honest with you, I haven't actually decided where. I think I might do it like maybe here, so it's on the bottom side, and like it ends up being here somewhere. So I'm gonna figure that out. But we're gonna overlock the whole thing all the way around, turn it inside out, and then make the ends of all the strings a bit neater. And then we're gonna close that little opening thing that I said. So yeah, we're almost there. I'm gonna catch you guys when it's time to close up the finishing seam. Okay guys, I turned it inside out. It looks really, really good. I also corrected the one string, or like neckline string, so that that's straight now. The strings are way too long. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off like 1/3 on all of them to begin with, and then tie them, like close them off. I also need to close the obviously the opening here on the back side. But I've decided to actually also top stitch. So as I close the back side here, I'm gonna go ahead and do a lightning stitch all the way around, so that I'm able to keep the lining in place really nice. So that's gonna be the last step. Cutting and tying the strings, and then closing off the opening here between the lining and the outer fabric. And as I do that, I'm also doing a lightning top stitch all the way around, where I want to make sure that I kind of guide the lining to be just a millimeter inside of the outer fabric, and therefore stay in place super neatly. Okay guys, the bathing suit is done. I'm really happy with it. I will say it's a little too big, I think. So you can see it's bulking a little here. So if I make this one again, I'll probably make sure to adjust the neckline here, make it a little bit more narrow and then out. And then I think it's also a little bit too long, like it goes up too high on the back side. If it was lower, I would be able to put it tighter to my body, so to feel a bit more secure. Like I said before, I think the strings, the way I measured them to begin with, was way too long, but it's fine. It's just cutting off and then finishing them, right? This was quite a simple project. First time sewing with this type of fabric, like sports fabric, swimsuit fabric. I think silk or some types of satin and viscose is harder because they're more slippery, but this was definitely slippery too, so just keep that in mind as well. Yeah, I'm super happy with this one. I'm really happy with it. It looks so nice. And yeah, I am ready to make more swimwear. Okay guys, I will see you again in a few minutes, but it's a week for you. Let's see if it's a dress or a top that we're making next. Thanks for watching. Bye.